Hello everyone, this is Peter. Welcome to another week of the News Plus brought you from Plus Agency. News Plus is a channel that's going to summarize what has happened in Sydney real estate in the past 7 days. If you are interested in this type of content, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and forward the information to your friend. Plus Agency is a boutique agency located in the heart of Chatswood at 418 Victoria Avenue in Chatswood. If you're interested in deals in residential, especially in Lower North Shore, Upper North Shore, CBD or Eastern Suburb, please make sure to pay us a visit. There may be some really good deals waiting for you to collect. Alright, with no further ado, let's get this week's news plan started. The first thing, unicorn suburbs. What we mean by unicorn suburbs is where you can buy Sydney houses for under $700,000. For those of you who understand Sydney market prices, I mean, sometimes auction goes over reserve price for more than $1 million, not sold for more than $1 million, and we'll have something like that today as well. So to get something under $700,000 is absolutely crazy prices. Young family frustrated with skyrocketing city prices found what may thought a mystical beast of Sydney real estate, suburbs where they can still buy a house for under $700,000. Many of the Western Sydney suburbs are former housing commission areas, dismissed in the past as rough neighborhood filled with ugly, feeble houses. But those same houses, many built on decent plot with good size yield yards, are now attracting first home buyers from across Sydney, desperately searching for houses with a backyard for their keys. So some of the areas you can still get it are all the way in the west. In the Greater Western Sydney has accounted for about 10 of the suburbs where it's still possible to snap up average houses under $700,000. Areas top of the suburb will be Edmonton, which has a median value for house price of $647,000. In 2021, the median house prices in Edmonton was about $610,000. It was still quite okay, as a lot of people are still going into the suburb to buy. You can see there are some really decent single level houses there. You wouldn't expect a luxury of any kind. I mean, for something at this price point, definitely it's not a luxury, but cash-out families on the hunt for larger houses are actually now flowing to the west, and also the first home buyers who really couldn't afford it are now going to west, and we're gonna see if we can still have the houses in Sydney under $700,000 in the next few months. We'll see how we go. Another thing goes back to Lower North Shore. Most of the prestige market takes off. One particular agent, Michael Holmes, sells about $90 million worth of homes in just 10 days, which is absolutely insane. Top agent and Mossman says the prestige market has taken off. He sold 90 million worth of property in 10 days, including 2 homes for 20 million and then 17 million and a deep waterfront for more than $11.5 million. Lower North Shore are not the actually really expensive areas in Sydney. However, it's not like the eastern suburb, but it's still very, very popular. But to achieve $90 million sale in about 10 days is absolutely crazy. The market was really, really slow. He has made about 200 phone calls. People were not engaged, but in early February, ramped up and took off, and the properties are now getting sold on the market. This beautiful home at 13A Alfred Street in Mossman was designed by absolutely a top-range designer, has got some of the best modern contemporary living experience possible to offer. Originally had a guideline of 16 million plus and sold for about 20, which means how crazy people are getting out good prices for good properties. And this particular one, the 18 Belmore Avenue in Mossman, sold for about 17 million. In the country, it's not modern at all. It's actually a very classic red brick house. However, the harbor view and the backside extension with the beautiful infinity pool bring it back into the mainstream market. 34 Killjoy Avenue in Camry has sold for more than $11.5 million. Camry was not a prestige area like Mossman. However, with the views, with the waterfront, absolutely nice open living plans across the area, it was just absolutely crazy. Congratulations to Michael, and then I hope his team can achieve more in the coming months as well. Next one, Sydney auctions. Family shocked after getting $1.25 million over the reserve prices. Another amazing story at the auction. Family in Strathfield left stunned after getting $1.25 million above the reserve prices. Auction onlookers described as crazy. A crowd of about 100 people was seen packed both sides of the pavement to watch the After Street house go under the hammer, including 17 registered bidders. The high competition pushed the prices to 3.55 million. The guy that grew up in the home says her family was overwhelmed with this result. And by overwhelmed, I mean his parents has purchased the property in 1978 for only $65,000 and now sold for $3.55 million. Cashed out straight away. No one respected 3.55. It was ridiculous. However, doesn't matter how ridiculous it is, it happens. This week there will be about 1,300 auctions, most in the week so far of this year, and auction clearance was roughly about 73%. In the last week, hopefully we can achieve a similar rate this week as well. It is a cooling market, but still a very fairly strong market. Last year was just an incredible year, and we will never see anything like it. But the fact the market isn't like anyone else anymore doesn't mean it's soft, as said by the Rewrite chief economist, Marita. All right, going to best Sydney suburb for unit home buyers and investors. I think that's something a lot of people are really looking at it. There has been a lot of investors in the housing market, but with the houses so expensive, majority of them actually have to be owner-occupied. And also because of the land tax, a lot of people have to owner-occupied as well. However, coastal apartments could be the next big thing when it comes to investment opportunity in Sydney, as vacancy rates drop and the housing supply tightens across the city. A buyer agency network has named the best unit markets for finding a tenant, with several suburbs from northern beaches and the eastern suburbs making the list. DY, Mannyville, Brookville, Maroubra, Kensington, Kings Grove all featured strong opportunities in terms of good tenant demand and low vacancy rate. And all of the suburbs experienced a high capital growth over the past 12 months, all the way to February this year as well. Values in BY and Manly has grown about 35% over the year, with median apartment value just north of $1.1 million. The median apartment prices in Brookville was slightly higher at $1.18 million for a 30% growth, with Maroubra, Kensington, and Kingsford with some of my favorite areas next to the school that I graduated from, straddled the $1 million mark offer after a 23 to 29% climb. So you can see there's plenty of properties that's available in this area. Apartment price doesn't go up as much as house prices. There are still quite a significant amount of capital gain happening in these suburbs. Majority of them are over 20%. So the top 10 suburbs for unit buyers in Sydney are ranked as below: DY, Manlyville, Brookville, Maroubra, Kensington, Kingsford, WQ, Leichhardt, and Lane Cove. So if you have an eye for $1 million budget looking for something in the apartment or unit investment market, these are the area you can pay some attention to. Next one, famous fashion designer Wayne Cooper and wife Sarah Marsh sells glamorous Tarahumara home for a huge price. The designer, whose fashion show features the likes of Linda Evangelista and Sarah O'Hare, has sold his glamorous 6-level Tarahumara home for a double-digit price. The British-born fashion designer Wayne Cooper, who grew up in London's East End and then moved to Australia in 1985, bought a stunning 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom home in Carosa Street for about $5.5 million in 2011 with wife Sarah Marsh, now sold for around $11 million according to the reliable source, though the agent who did the deal was refused to comment on the prices, the name of the buyer. The home with the ocean view, 8-person lift and heated pool was first listed in April with just about $10.5 million guide with another agent. Now has been done with this one for absolutely amazing prices at $11 million. Interior of the house is beautiful. You get a really beautiful view from the living room. The place is very new. It's got the cinema, it's got the dressing and the walk-in wardrobe. It does look like a home belongs to a high-end fashion designer. Congratulations to Wayne Cooper. All right, next one. And the last one of this week, West Pymble top list of Sydney's most tenant-friendly rental markets. West Pymble House has topped the list of the most tenant-friendly rental market in Sydney. A surging vacancy rate put the ball back in the court for renters. Research commissioned by redrabbit.com.au shows vacancy rate in West Pymble housing market has leapt 3.7% points over the past year to 5.5%, while the median rent has fallen from $870 to $850. There had been less competition among tenants, with landlords dropping the rent in order to attract more interest. The better renting report identified 10 housing market and 10 unit markets where vacancy rates has increased and rents has fallen or stayed flat over the past 12 months, giving more power to renters looking to negotiate a favorable rent and living conditions. These are the areas that actually has vacancy rate increased even though at an increasing rent market, and then the median rent has dropped compared to the year of 2021 as well. And the list goes with West Pimple number 1 house, Garovie unit ranking a second, Heikenberg house 0% vacancy rate before, now increased to 2%, and the minimum rent is about $380 at the moment. Panel Hill houses, Cabramatta West houses, Berla unit, Emu Plan units, and Tempe house, and Marion house, and Emerald unit. The list goes on and on. If you're interested, we'll share it with you. Just leave us a comment. All right, last but not the least, finally, we have launched the best project in the Upper North Shore, Linfield Woolsey 8. It's a collection of 8 sandstone double brick terrace homes located in about 5 minutes walk distance away from the station on the park front. This is an absolutely stunning, beautiful home, has smashed the Linfield record by having a deal done at $4.7 million and $5 million for 2 of the properties in the collection. And also, I think it's one of the most expensive too as well, and now all the cheaper ones are available, and that's very unusual, but I guess in this market people just really demand on good things. So Upper North Shore, if you're looking for something that's 6-meter ceiling, if you're looking for something that's double glazed window, you're looking for something that's got herringbone floor, you're looking for something that's got marble on the wall, Gaggenau appliances, fireplace in the living room, Japanese internal gardens, beautiful walk-in wardrobes. If these things are something you like, and they have 3 cars and 1 lock-up garage, this is the project for you. If you're interested, please making sure you search Woolsey 8 Linfield on Google, and then you'll find the website. All right, that's it for today's News Plus. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Peter Lee, and I will see you next week.